Welcome back. So today we're starting off at this rest area. There's a geocache way over there that I already got. And there's a geocache way over there that I already got. I got them in two different videos. Now there's one way back here. So we're going to ponder into the woods. And of course, all three of these are dirt bike granny caches. So starting off the day again with a dirt bike granny cache. I think the trailhead is right over here. This is down a dog walk trail out in the woods. Middle of nowhere, south of Pentwater, Hart, Michigan area. But let's go back here and see what we can find. GPS puts it directly back there quite a ways, but there is a trailhead. So we're going to wander this trailhead and see if we don't get lost like the last time we found one. So the hint is cluster near a fence. And you can't really see the fence on camera. But there is one here. And the GPS says we're coming up on it, so let's see what we can find. There you can kind of see the fence. The cache is pretty obvious. It's a level 2 difficulty, but it's right out in the open. Let's get this thing open and see what we can find. There's nothing in here besides a log and a pencil. So let's get the log out and get her signed. That was a pretty easy cache to start the day. Got the log signed. Let's stick her back in the container now. Don't really think that's a level 2 difficulty sitting right out in the open, but it's definitely a level 2 terrain, and I hope I don't get lost trying to get back, because when I found the one way over there, this is way off the beaten path. I got completely turned around. I had a hard time finding the parking lot to get back to my truck. I stand corrected. I walked right over this walking path. Of course, the leaves are all dying off and changing. It's leaf season. So it should be pretty easy to find our way back now. Made her back safe and sound. Next stop is in Pentwater. I don't know if there's any caches there, but there is another rest area cache. That's a level 4.5 terrain, but a level 1.5 difficulty. I've been meaning to get it because that rest area closes in the wintertime, so we're going to try and get that one today too. So we made it to our next cache. It's supposedly a quick park and grab in the description, level 2.5 difficulty, 2 terrain. Has not been found in 6 months. The last person to come looking was a DNF, and there are a lot of DNFs in the logs, but supposedly someone found it about 6 months ago. It's called Road Ends, and the hint is don't let the name fool you. It's supposed to be right back here somewhere, and it is a micro, and it is very overgrown back there, so fingers crossed, but not the highest of hopes. We're going to check it out anyway. Even though the GPS puts me 20, 30 feet away, I'm going to check this sign first. I don't feel anything back there, and I don't see anything down there, but I wanted to check this before I go crawling into God knows what is back here. I don't see anything on the back side. There's a sticker, but that's a DOT sticker. So it looks like we're going to have to go pondering through the woods to see if we can find this, because the hint, road ends, don't let the name fool you, is kind of confusing. It's not a very good hint. I just finished looking the phone thing up, and that doesn't appear to be it. There is a fence here, so it can't be too far back. And I've looked in these trees as well, but it's a micro. There's poison ivy that way, so I'm not going to be going that way. So if the cache is over there, I'm not going to find it. I'm going to look through these trees a little bit more. It says it's actually further up than this, but I have a feeling this one might be missing. I've been looking for a little bit longer now. There's this metal pole, but it is stuck in the ground, so it's not going to be in that. I felt in the end, and I felt in the little hole there, and there's no other holes or ends you can get into. So GPS puts it literally right behind me. It's nothing but poison ivy back there. I'm not going to mess with this one. I can almost see the skin color again where my poison ivy was, so we're going to DNF this one just because I don't want to get covered in poison ivy. And then probably the next one's going to be that rest area one I've had my eye on for a while. So we made it to our next cache. It is a level 2 difficulty, but 3.5 terrain, and I'm starting to see why. I'm sure you can't see it on camera. It's back here in the woods, and there is a massive hill you have to climb, and it is wet and soggy out. It's a large container, and the hint just says it's going to rock your world. So let's take a trek in the woods, because this is going to be a doozy to go get. I'm not sure how much the camera's doing this justice, but that is a steep hill, and it is wet out. So I'm not going to be able to film until I probably get there. I'm officially exhausted. Coming up with the coordinates, and I see a giant rock. A hint is it's going to rock your world. There's the big old rock up there. Let's go see if this geocache is worth it. Alright, coordinates bring me right here next to this giant rock. Ugh, that doesn't look natural. Oh, there's 2 caches in here. What's going on, buddy? Looks like this might be old cache because it has all the little trinkets in it. And they don't look in the best of condition. And that looks to be a newer jar. Let's get it out and get it signed. Alright, I gotta put it all back together. And now I'm gonna take it all back apart to film a short. But before I finish putting it all back together, it's just a water cap, middle of nowhere. It doesn't even fit because there's too much crap in here. And this rock was flipped right over it. It's not one a child's gonna be able to get. That rock is a hefty little son of a gun. Alright, cache is back together, short is filmed. There's the death ravine over there. And the death ravine over there. I think I took this ravine of death. And the camera does not do this justice. This is about 50 feet down. This is all wet leaves and wet lands and not fun. So I'm gonna stop filming because I don't want to film myself falling on my butt. All right, made it out. Definitely not where we went in. Let's get back in the truck. All right, now I gotta clean my glasses. All of my clothes are wet from all the dew out there. But we're gonna keep on driving. I'm not sure when the next cache is gonna be. But that one has been on my list for a while, and I'm really glad to just check it off. Because like I said, this rest area closes in the wintertime. See you at the next one. So we've made it about 4 miles down the road into Ludington, and there's another cache over here. It's at Bish's RV. It's got a lot of favorite points. It's a 2.5 difficulty. It's been found a lot recently, and they said it's a little tricky. And to be careful of muggles because there's a lot of people out here. So we're going to go check and see if we can find this cache quick without being bothered by salesmen at this RV lot. All right, the GPS puts it on the corner here. Maybe it's a fake cable box or electrical box. I'm not quite sure. But there are 2 cable boxes. That's zip tied shut. That actually has wires coming out of it. That's real. Oh, there's the cache. Look what we found. You always got to look for stuff that looks a little out of place, and this looks a little out of place. The log is wet, but we're going to get her signed if we can. Easy enough. Log is signed. Let's stick her back quick. Just like this. Oh, there are some little toys in there. I'm not going to dig them out, though. The description says there's no room for toys. There should be room for a plastic bag, though. But another neat one. I'm assuming someone who works here, the owner, has it because you have to have permission to put them there. But easy enough. On to the next one. No clue when that's going to be. That's what our 3rd cache we found today after going after 4. So we had 1 DNF. It was mostly missing. And we got a couple fun ones out of the way with favorite points. On to the next one. All right, next one. Just a light post cache. Gonna check it off the list. It's right in front of me. Let's grab it. Or at least I assume it's a light pole cache because it says no hints needed. And I'm probably gonna need 2 hands because this is sticky. And there she be. Let's sign her. All right, easy park and grab. Got her put back already. Gonna get back on the road. Just saw this one. Had to grab it. Last cache was a train to work at night, which is a Michigan series, and there's another train to work at night right here at the other end of town, and it's another light pole. But I'm still gonna grab it because gotta add up them numbers. Because I am currently at somewhere around 115 finds this month, and I'm trying to beat my record last month of 150. Oh, it's not just sitting under here. The sticker's real. That's real. I'm gonna have to get to the GPS quick and see what's up. Okay, it was under there. It just wasn't on the top. It was on the bottom. So we're gonna get her signed quick, and I'll show you where it was. So it was sitting underneath it instead of on top of it. All right, easy park and grab. It's find number 112 for the month so far. Let's get to getting. Looks like this cache is gonna be a little bit of a stealth cache. We're in a neighborhood here. It's called Amelia's Cache. I believe we're in Bear Lake, Michigan. It says 4th pine from the intersection, but there's like a small pine and further back a big pine. And I'm not quite sure, but it was hidden by a 6-year-old, so it shouldn't be that difficult to find. It's a regular size container. Let's get out here and see. I'm not quite sure if this is private property or not. But I'm trying to see where they would even hide a cache. There's just a flower pot sitting here. There's nothing under there. This is a level 2 difficulty. And it says fourth pine. Technically, over here is private property, over here is county property. But there's only 3 pine trees on the county property. And that's someone's personal property. It says fourth pine from the intersection. I didn't even notice this little pine tree here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And it says go in and look by the logs. Is this a geocache, or am I just messing around on someone's private property here? Nope, that is the geocache. This thing is full. I don't know if that's... There's the logbook. Amelia's Cache Stash. And it's got a whole lot of stuff in here that I don't feel like pulling out and putting back in. Except I'm going to, because I'm going to see if there's any pens in here for Jordan. Alright, Amelia. Thanks for the cash. I did exchange something for your little beanie baby. I forgot to film it because I came back to my truck and I had to dig through my truck to find something, and I left my phone in my truck when I went back to the cache. But log is signed. There's a nice little race car in there for you now. And we're going to get back on the road. And I'm going to give this to Jordan because it's a running joke that I always buy her beanie babies. So we got a 50-cent colonial down the street we got to grab. But first, we got to fill up. This upside station has a pretty good offer, 23 cents back per gallon, and I'm going to be putting about 22, 23 gallons in this thing to top her off. So free money, and if you want free money, sign up with my code, RE4Me. I've made almost $1,200 this year off the app. It's real money. You probably won't make as much as me. I drive for a living, but we both get a kickback, an extra 15 cents back per gallon. So it really adds up for me. Make sure you use the link in the description. In a second, we'll be at the Dollar General to get that 50-cent colonial. All right, do the math. 23 cents, 21.6 gallons. That's $2, $4.53. I don't know. You do the math. Tell me in the comments. So this is not at a Dollar General. It's at a Family Dollar, and it's just a light pole cache. There's only one light pole in this entire parking lot. And oh, would you look at that? There it is. It's just a log and this dirty little squishy duck. Oh, probably a duck. Who knows nowadays? Could identify as a chicken. Well, it is just another light post, but it's not a Dollar General 50-cent colonial, so we'll see what other unique things we find today on the road. But you'll know before I do. On to the next one. All right, we made it to our next cache. It's an MLT cache, which stands for Michigan Lost Town. It's for Oyat. It's O-I-A-T-T. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's over here, and it just says it's in the base of the big pine. Small container. Let's go see what we can find. I didn't check and see when the last time this was found, but it looks like there's a little path right through here. And I can already see it. You can see the red cap over there. There's the cache. All right, took me a second to get around everything. Just a peanut butter jar. And we're going to see what's in this quick. This is right off the highway outside of Maple City. Not much in there. At least the cache is protected because there is water in there. I'm going to dump all that out and get to signing this. All right, got the log signed. Drop it right back in there, put it back in the tree, and get back on the road. All right, bye-bye, buddy. I'll see you never again. It's probably my last cache for a while. Definitely going to grab a few more today. There's one at a rest area on my way home I'm going to grab. There's also a multi-cache at the rest area I've been meaning to look into, as I think the cache ends at the rest area. It's just a two-parter at a rest area. All right, back on the road. So we got 2 more caches to get today. The first one is right over here. It's a low-level cache. We're at the Tustin Scenic Outlook, south of Cadillac. There's a cache further back in the other side of the trees. I've already gotten that one. I haven't messed with the multi-cache, but I'm going to go look at it after we're done with this. This has been inactive for almost a year. And I didn't even realize it was replaced just 2 or 3 weeks ago. There's only one find on it since it's been replaced. So I've been looking forward to getting this one, even though it's a low-level difficulty. Let's get out of the truck and go see what we can find. The GPS is putting it somewhere in the tree line over here. I did not look at the container size, and I know there's no hint. But with a low-level difficulty, I'm just going to assume it's in one of these bunches of trees. Maybe that tree nook there. There's a few other tree nooks. It's not in here. We'll get the GPS out. It's not in here. I haven't turned the GPS on. I'm gonna have to look and see what size container this is. So I was looking at the GPS wrong. I was looking on the wrong end of the tree line. It's a small container. The GPS does put it about right in front of me, about 13 feet away, and the GPS is usually out. So my first thought is this tree. I'm not seeing it right off the bat, but let's do some digging. And as soon as I rounded the corner, I can see the cache. Doesn't look like it's been replaced. I think it was just reported missing and the people took it off to come and check, but let's get her open quick. Okay, my camera won't focus, but this log goes back to 2022, so it's not been replaced. It must have just been disabled to come and check on it because it had some DNFs. Alright, so I went back and looked at the log. There was a bunch of DNFs on this thing, so they just disabled it. They wrote a note, and they put a new log in here because this one was full. So we got our sign. We're going to get back in the truck and drive to the other end of the rest area because this is actually the scenic outlook portion. And I'm going to take a look at that multi-cache and see if it's worth doing it, because I've read the description and it says the final cache is located in a pine tree. And there's a bunch of pine trees out front, and I hope it's not up here because we can't drive backwards up the scenic outlook. It's a one-way. Let's go find out together. All right, all the coordinates are on this historic sign. They give you the generic. Anyway, they give you the north-south, but then you have to use numbers off this sign and then use them as ABC to put into the description. And I'm going to do that right now to see where it is, because it says it's zip-tied in a pine tree, and I'm going to hope it's out there and not somewhere ridiculously far away. All right, it took me a minute. I had to Google the word hormophone. Hormophone? It means something, but I figured it out. It was a 2. Anyway, you had to figure out 6 numbers from there doing math equations and using fancy words. The GPS puts it way the fuck over there. So we're going to go way over there. It's actually past the other driveway. These are one-way driveways. The other one over there goes up to the scenic outlook, and this one comes down where we were just at getting the other caches. And it's in a pine tree way over here. So I think I see the pine tree. You see the little one right in the middle of the screen, not the big one to the right, not to the bush to the left. The GPS is putting it right by that pine tree. This isn't that far from the sign. You can kind of still see the building over there where the sign is at. So the coordinates bring us to this bird feeder. Doesn't bring us to a pine tree at all. And there's a lot of pine trees around here. I have not looked and seen when the last time this was found, though. Looks like I need to go read through the logs, and it's starting to rain out. My first thought is the GPS coordinates are off by a bit because there's some big pine trees in here, but I've been back here for about 10 minutes. And I'm not seeing anything zip-tied to any of these trees over here. It's probably going to be in one of the smaller ones. This is a dirt bite granny cache. Same one we started the day with and the same one we're going to end the day with. But sometimes her coordinates are off by just a hair, which to get exact coordinates on a multi-cache is almost impossible. That's what makes them a little higher level difficulty. And I was reading through the comments and there's nothing pointing me in the direction. So like I said, it puts me at that birdhouse up there. All the pine trees are down here. So I wandered over to this pine tree, the furthest one away, and I don't see it in here. There's the bird feeder that the coordinates bring you to. And no, that doesn't open. I tried opening it. And I didn't film it because I get spooked by a rabbit jumping around. But I don't really want to search through there. Though it's pretty overgrown, and I can see poison ivy from here. So then this one, it is a micro container zip tied to a pine tree is all it says. I'm not seeing it in this one. I really hate the DNF because I've been wanting to do this one for a while. We're going to look for a little bit more. I'm not going to make you all watch with me as my calves burn, because if you remember earlier in this video, I kind of rolled my leg, my ankle, my whatever. Let's see. Looking like I'm going to DNF this one. I just searched every single pine tree back there. This entire rest area is nothing but pine trees. So it'll take me a full day just to search through all of them. I'm going to DNF this for now. Get on the road. Got about 120 miles to go still to end the day, but I'm going to end the video right here. And we'll see what we can do tomorrow on a video you'll see a week after this. Deuces. Subscribe, follow, sign up to Upside, link in the description, or use code RE for me. Out.